Hello and welcome to another Let's Play Pokemon TCG Online. I'm Daniel, one of the hosts on the Reasons I'm Broke podcast right here on YouTube. Also available on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, basically anywhere where you can find and host a podcast. You can find the link at nerdupmedia.com. Jumping right into some standard format ranked matches. First one being the opponent, Ricardo_8A, who uses water and colorless types. And to any new viewers, I mainly use a Gengar EX deck, and I couple that up with Chandelure, both from the Phantom Forces set, which is still in rotation. If you are even a longtime Brocat viewer and you want to check out some of these cards and try to own them in real life, that will be in the Phantom Forces set. So that was, I want to say, about 3 or 4 sets ago. Alright, so he is going to get 2 extra cards from the beginning. The way my deck works is I don't have a lot of basics. I mainly comprise the rest of the deck is made up of energies and a lot of trainers to try to help me to get some of the evolution, some of the tools, that kind of thing. So unfortunately, one of the setbacks to that is most of the time my opponent ends up starting off with extra cards in their hand. So in our case, they end up putting a head ringer on our Gengar EX, unfortunately. So that means that we will have to put in an extra energy on Gengar if we want to do any type of damage. So essentially the Night Attack will take 2 energies instead of 1, and the Dark Corridor will take 4 instead of 3. Now if we get a Dimension Valley out there, that will kind of override the head ringer, but that doesn't stop us from having to put an extra energy out there just to try to use an attack. And I won't be able to use the Pokemon tool and put it on the Gengar, unfortunately. And the 1 energy that I put down pretty much cancels out the head ringer, but that means I still can't use that attack. So that slowed us down a churn. The head ringers are really good. I want to say attach this Pokemon tool to one of your opponent's Pokemon EX that doesn't already have a Pokemon tool attached to it. So there you go. You can have, I believe, 4 of those in your deck because it's not an A-spec card. And it really slows down our Gengar EXs. I've debated having some of those in my deck, but I do go up against a decent amount of EXs, but not enough to where I think it would really benefit us. So for now, it looks like we are going to at least try to do 3 damage counters here with the Night Attack. And there it is. I believe it only had it only had 30 hit points on Magikarp. So that was their final Pokemon. We knocked it out, and that's the game. So we do start off with a victory. Go a little bit more towards the special challenge, which is win 20 versus games, and you get 2 Roaring Skies booster packs. And here's that new presentation that I was talking about in the last episode. And we end up getting enough to get 180 energies to get the perk, which is 100 Pokemon coins. Those we can use on booster packs, on cards, promos, that kind of thing. Working towards the next one, which is 3 cards, Shiftry, Nuzleaf, and the Seedot. So let's go ahead and continue. Look for another opponent here. In the meantime, I do want to remind you that if you click on the Reasons I'm Broke logo at the top right-hand corner of the screen, that will have you subscribe to the channel. And we do put up the podcast every single Sunday at noon Eastern Time. You can also check out the rest of our shows right here on YouTube through the Nerd of Media Network and also through the icons on the right-hand side as well. Looks like it's not letting us jump into the next match. Let's see if let's go back in, standard, hit play. Alright, let's try to back up here in a second. Haven't had this problem yet with the latest update, so let's see if we can back out and go back in and see if that fixes it. So that's one of the quirks about some of these new updates is you are going to have some issues, and hopefully this fixes it. Alright, here we go. I do apologize for that, Broquettes, but it looks like we are able to jump right in. It just needed to restart the program. The next opponent is Bruno Esteban. And we do get the coin flip, so we will go first. Alright, so we start off with a Litwick, but not my favorite start, but I do have a Chandelure right down here, and I just drew a Gengar. We've got a Rare Candy as well that we can use next turn. In the meantime, let's get a couple of energies and see if we can actually start working Chandelure up. Next turn, we cannot attack our very first turn, so we are going to end our turn. Alright, so as I was saying, head on over to nerdupmedia.com, check out the rest of the shows on the network, like the Read Pile. They do video comic book reviews. Lazy Gaming Guys, they do Let's Plays as well, just like we do here, except theirs is more console-based. And then, of course, Those Two Jerks, it's an audio podcast in which they cover sports and nerd stuff. So a lot of stuff to offer on our network, and we're always happy to hear from a lot of you on Twitter and on Facebook. Twitter is @ReasonsI'mBroke, and Facebook is facebook.com/TheReasonsI'mBroke. All right, so let's put that on the Chandelure here and evolve it. We're going to put another energy on it. And it looks like we cannot attack this churn still, so we are going to end our churn. All right, so let's see what kind of deck they're using. Looks like they're going to go ahead and evolve using the Evo Soda. They do have a Kyogre on their bench that they are building up, but this is what they're focusing on, that being the Kirlia. Mind the Bend does 20 damage. Flip a coin if heads. A defending Pokemon is now confused. Instead, it looks like, what is that, the spinning attack with the double colorless energy, which does 40 damage to Chandelure. So we are going to feed the Chandelure. We're going to put the Curse Drop. So we're going to put all 6 onto the Kirlia, which brings it down to 20. Hopefully we can knock it out next turn. It depends on what they have putting towards us. Now they did put in a Rocky Helmet and attach that tool onto what is now a Gallade, up to 80 hit points. But this one is very much like our Rock Guard, in which anytime I attack it for damage, we do take 2 damage counters, as opposed to our Rock Guard, which is 6. Now the advantage to this Rocky Helmet is they can have up to 4 in their deck, unlike our Rock Guard, which is only 1 per deck, just because it is that strong. So they end up doing 80 damage onto the Chandelure, which forces us to retreat. So we're going to go ahead and feed the Gengar EX. We have not gotten any supporters, unfortunately, so I'm just going to do 30 damage onto the Gallade, bring that down to 50. Chandelure is down to 10, so it did survive that attack. But unfortunately, I don't have anything to switch with. I don't have Dimension Valley. They're going to do 100 damage onto the Gengar EX, and they will end their turn. Alright, so they're up to 50. I'm going to have to go with Shauna and see if I can pull up anything. So let's go ahead and do that now. So we do get a couple of roller skates. Let's go ahead and play 1. And we do get it, so we're going to draw 3. Put down the Litwick, do another roller skates, see what we get. And another heads, awesome. So we get another draw 3. There it is, Dimension Valley, exactly what I was looking for. It does help them out, but in our case, we can go ahead and knock out the Gallade. I'm going to put a Rock Guard onto the Chandelure. Actually, let's... Oh, I can't take that back. Oh, well. So we're going to put the double colorless energy onto the Gengar EX. And we're going to go ahead and knock out the Gallade, I think. We're going to do 70... Yeah, let's go ahead and knock it out. Oh, shit. Sorry about that. I did the wrong move. I meant to do the Dark Corridor. So I wasn't paying attention in that case. So they are going to knock out our Gengar EX, unfortunately. Whoops. Alright, let's see what their attack is. They're going with the Swift Lunge for 80 plus the... oh no, they went with Powerful Storm. Does 20 damage times the number of energies attached to all of your Pokemon. It's pretty awesome. Alright, so let's go ahead and put out the Chandelure. We're going to go ahead and evolve Litwick into the Lampent. What else do we have? We can only get the Shauna back, so I'm going to save the Versus Seeker. Let's feed the Lampent, and we're going to do the Curse Drop. 1, 2. There we go. That was the right attack that time, and we were finally able to knock out the Gallade. They're going to put out the Kyogre, which has 90 hit points. And they will knock out our Chandelure, but hopefully the Fainting Spell activates, which would knock out the Kyogre, and that'd be their last Pokemon, and we'd win the match. So let's see if they get some more basics, and they put that down. And they end up getting the Ralts, which has 40 hit points. They are going to try to build that up. There's the teammates. So they're going to get any 2 cards from their deck because we did knock out a Pokemon their last turn. That's the only time you can use teammates. And we'll see what they end up picking here. I'm assuming it's going to be an evolution to Ralts. But we're going to try to knock that out next turn when we evolve into Chandelure and try to get more energies on our end. So they got 1 Tails. So it does 0 damage onto the Chandelure. And yeah, they should take damage from the Rock Guard. Alright, cool. Let's put that out. Let's evolve into Chandelure. Mega Gengar Spirit Link onto the Gengar EX. How many energies do I have down here? I've got 1. I guess I'll save it just in case. Alright, so let's go ahead and do a Curse Drop. We've got 90 there, and then the Ralts. I'm going to knock that out, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go, because they were probably going to evolve it next turn. Knocks that out, brings down the Kyogre to 70. If they attack us, they'll be down to 10, so we should be able to knock that out with either one of our Pokemon, Gengar or Chandelure. But that's, again, what I always love about the Ghost Pokemon is that they can attack the bench. So if they're trying to build something up, we can immediately get rid of that. In that case, the Ralts. They're down to 28 cards in their deck, and they end up putting out a Latios EX, which has 170 hit points. They're going to knock out Chandelure. Let's see if the Fainting Spell activates. It does not, so we don't bring down Kyogre with us, and they're going to do 10 damage to the Gengar EX and to Chandelure that we have on our bench. So that'll be a prize on their end. Let's go ahead and put out the Chandelure. Alright, we do get a teammates. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to feed the Chandelure first. Let's get that teammates, and we do need some energy, so I'm going to grab a Psychic Energy and the Mega Gengar EX as well. Alright, so we already fed someone this turn. We've got 120 on him. Let's Mega Evolve Gengar. Let's get some energies right back. Energy retrieval, alright, so we've got 2 more there. I can get the teammates back. I think I'm going to hold off just in case to see if Chandelure gets knocked out next turn. But regardless, let's do a Curse Drop attack. 1 onto Kyogre and the rest onto the Latios EX. There we go. So we get another prize. This time it was the Muscle Band, which we cannot put on Mega Gengar because it does have the Gengar Spirit Link, so it already has a Pokemon tool attached to it. But we have 2 more Gengars in our deck, and we could always put it on one of them. Let's see what they're going to end up going with. There's the Pokemon Center lady, so 1 less of those we have to worry about. 40 damage onto Chandelure. Alright, and let's go ahead and do a Great Ball, see what we can get. There's a Gengar right there. Let's get him out. That's the Full Art Gengar. There we go. We'll attach the Muscle Band onto that Gengar. And who do I want to feed at this point? We've got the Life Pulse, does 110, prevent all effects of your opponent's attack except damage onto this Pokemon to your opponent's next turn. So that looks pretty awesome. I'm going to go ahead and build up the Mega Gengar EX instead. And we will do a Curse Drop, put all 6 onto the Latios EX, which brings it down to 110. So if we wanted to, assuming they don't end up healing, we can knock out the Latios EX with the Phantom Gate on Mega Gengar because we would be using their attack, which is the Light Pulse. So they end up putting out the Ralts, which has 60 hit points. They're going to do 40 onto Chandelure, brings it down to 40. In that case, let's go ahead and do the Pokemon Fan Club, get 2 more Litwicks. There we go. Oh, we do have an option here, Brocats. Let's see what we can do. I could knock out the Latios, or I can go after the Ralts. Alright, let's put an energy onto the Mega Gengar EX. And I'm actually going to go after the Ralts. There we go. So we're down to 2 prizes. They're down to 3. If they knock out our Chandelure, again, we have that Fainting Spell that can activate, which would be our final prizes. So that's why I ended up going after the Ralts. I don't know how their Gallade would have worked, assuming that's who they would have eventually evolved into. So they're going to do the... so they're silent. They're actually going to do... what's this called here? Alright, so they're already playing. They're going quick. A little too quick here. They're gonna. There's the Fainting Spell. Does not activate, so that our Chandelure is knocked out. We're going to put out the Mega Gengar EX. Here's what I was trying to look at. The Hard Charm. Any damage done to this Pokemon is reduced by 20, which our Chandelure overrode that, but it's not happening at the moment anyway. So let's go ahead and get a Versus Seeker. Let's get that Teammates. And let's go ahead and use it. Do we have another Chandelure out there somewhere? We do, and we do have a Rare Candy. Let's go ahead and get those. Awesome. Rare Candy into the Chandelure, so we have another one just in case. In the meantime, we are going to feed this Gengar, start to build that up. Here we go, Phantom Gate. We're going to go with the Light Pulse, which does 90 instead because of the charm that the Pokemon tool that they had on there. They are down to 20. Normally that would have been game, but that Pokemon tool did buy them another turn. So they're going to go ahead and do 40 damage onto the Mega Gengar EX, and I think that's going to be it. It's going to be the game. Let's do a Phantom Gate. There it is, the Light Pulse for the knockout, and the last 2 prizes, their final Pokemon as well, and that's the victory. Alright, that was awesome. Looks like we are going to get a tournament ticket from the wheel here. And then we're going to get a couple of coins for playing, or 1 coin in this case. And a little bit closer to that special challenge completion, which I think we have a day and 9 hours left, I think it says. I don't think we're going to hit that, but looks like we do have time for 1 more game. And as always, at the very end, we are going to open up some booster packs. So we're up to 190 out of the 220 to try to get the next set of cards. Again, I really like this update. Next opponent uses water and dark types, so we're going to be at a little bit of a disadvantage with our psychics. And that opponent is Gabe on No Table. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Here we go. We're going to put out the Gengar EX. And let's see, what do we have here? We've got a couple of Tiernos. We've got the Lysander, which is always good. We've got a Great Ball. Ooh, Malamar EX. They've got a resistance to us. All right, so let's get some Pokemon on the bench first. Let's get another Gengar. Let's get a draw 3. Roller Skates. Let's go ahead and use that. And we do end up getting it, so we do end up drawing 3 more. And let's get that Tierno right back with the Versus Seeker. Don't want to play Dimension Valley quite yet. We are going to feed the Gengar. We cannot attack this turn, so it's their go. When you attach an energy from your hand to this Pokemon, you may use this ability. It's called Hyper Hypnosis. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep. That's exactly what they ended up doing, and they put a Rock Guard on him. Look at that. You don't see, we usually don't go up against too many people that have a Rock Guard themselves, so it's pretty interesting when you go up against it. So do we wake up? We do not, so I'm probably not going to feed this Gengar then. Flip a coin until they can knock us out next turn with 2 heads. Alright, so what do we want to do? Let's get the Pokemon Fan Club. We'll get a Litwick and a Gengar. Let's put those guys down. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to have to... What do I want to do here? Alright, a couple of options. Let's do the Dimension Valley. We're going to put a special energy onto the Litwick. We're still asleep, so we can't attack this turn, so we have to end our turn. And we do wake up after the flip, but after they put another energy down onto the Malamar EX, we will be asleep again. There it is. So we are asleep. Hopefully we wake up in between turns. Hopefully we survive this attack. They get a Tails and another Tails. So they end up doing 0 damage. We got really lucky on that. Alright. And do we wake up? Yes, we do. Awesome. Cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and evolve into the Lampent. And what do we want to do here? We're going to attach a double colorless energy onto the Gengar EX. Can I evolve? Well, we can't evolve this turn either way, but here we go. 2 more. We're going to put full bench at this point. And we're going to do a Dark Corridor attack. Yes, we will take 60 damage, but we're going to put some pressure on at this point. So let's go ahead and put out one of the other Gengars. They are poisoned. They're down to 120. They do have a resistance to Psychic. So our attack normally does 60. This time it only did 20. And we do take 60 damage because of the Rock Guard. And we have a Blastoise EX that they're working on. I may drag that out next turn with the Lysander. There's a Keldeo EX, which has that Russian ability. So at any point they can switch over. Their poisoning would be gone. So they're going with Maximar again. There's a Tails and another Tails. Awesome. We got lucky again. All right. So let's go ahead and what are we going to do here? I think I can survive the next attack. So I will feed this Gengar EX. And let's see about the Malamar. Let's try to get rid of that. I want to get rid of that Rock Guard as soon as possible. So we're going to do a Night Attack. 3 damage counters on it. It's not affected by their Rock Guard because this attack is not a damage. There's no number next to the actual attack, so it's not technically damage. It's just damage counters. They do get, what was it, 1 Tails and 1 Head. So they're going to do 120 damage onto the Gengar EX because of our weakness to Dark types. They're down to 60 now with their poisoning. So if we attack them with our Dark Corridor attack, we will be knocked out. So what I'm going to do instead is, who do I want to drag out? There's 20 more damage for each water energy attached to this Pokemon. Let's go ahead and actually... No, decisions, guys. Even if I do 40, that still won't be enough to knock it out this turn. I don't have a Muscle Band, and I don't want to risk it. So let's go ahead and Lysander up into the Keldeo. There we go. We're going to attach 2 energies, a double colorless energy onto the Gengar EX. And we're going to go ahead and poison it. 60 damage, we'll put out the other Gengar. They're down to 100, and they are poisoned. They will have to discard 2 energies if they want to get rid of their Keldeo. My game plan at this point is actually going to go after the Malamar EX. Oh, there it is. Double colorless energy so they can retreat, which I'm assuming is what they're going to do. Yep, there it is. They're going to put out the Malamar, and they'll probably go for the Maximar attack. 1 Tails. Come on, 1 more Tails. Nope. Looks like Gengar will be knocked out. There it is, 120 damage. They're still down to 60. So let's go ahead and put out the Gengar. Hope we draw a Chandelure. So let's put that onto this one here. We'll put out the Gengar. Alright, so what do we want to do? Let's feed the Lampent and hope for a Chandelure. Come on. There it is. We do get it. Alright. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm actually going to retreat for free. Well, not for free in this point. We don't have the special energy on it. So let's get rid of the double colorless energy. We'll put out the Chandelure. We have an energy retrieval. How many do we have in our discard pile? Only 1. We're going to save that. And what is this? We Gengar Spirit Link. Let's go ahead and evolve it. And do the Curse Drop. We're going to put all 6 onto the Malamar EX. We're not affected by the Rock Guard. Again, because of that Curse Drop, you're only dropping damage counters. It's not actually damage. And we do get our first knockout. They end up putting out a Blastoise EX. Let me see who I want to attack here. We've got 100 damage left on the Keldeo EX. We could go after that. The Darkrai EX is very intimidating because it is, again, a Dark type, so it will do double damage to us. They're going to go with the Splash Bomb attack. Flip a coin. If Tails this attack, this does 30 damage to itself. They end up doing with the Mega Blastoise instead. Alright, so that's going to change things a little bit. Their turn does immediately end because they did Mega Evolve. Let's do the Roller Skates, try to get 3 cards. We do end up getting it. We're down to 17 in our deck. Let's do the Great Ball. We do get a Chandelure, so we can rare candy up one of these little Litwicks. There we go. Let's put that out. Alright, a couple of options here. Let's feed this Chandelure. And we still have only 1 energy, so we're going to save that. I'm going to do the Curse Drop. We're going to go after the Keldeo. Alright, the reason I did that is this Blastoise EX, Mega Blastoise, has 220 HP if we're knocked out next turn, which I don't think let me see what this does. 120, this attack does 30 damage to 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon, so they're going to go after our Litwicks, I'm assuming, this little Litwick, and probably the Mega Gengar EX. There it is, 30 damage onto Litwick, 30 damage onto the Mega Gengar EX, that's down to 70, and Chandelure's down to 10 HP. So let's go ahead and, yeah, we'll knock out the Keldeo EX instead. So let's feed this, the Chandelure down here, the Curse Drop, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to do the rest on the Suicune. There we go, 2 more prizes. If the Fainting Spell works on the Mega Blastoise EX, that will be a knockout, and that will be the game. They end up putting out the Rough Seas, which does heal their Suicune by 20 damage, so all of the 2 damage counters we put on it is gone. I am going to play Dimension Valley next turn. They're going to get that Keldeo right back, I'm assuming. I think that's what the trainer was. Archie's Ace in the hole. Put a water Pokemon from your discard pile onto your bench, and then draw 5 cards. That's pretty awesome. There's a Silver Bangle, which does more damage onto our EXs. They're going to knock out our Chandelure. Fainting Spell does work. We bring down the Mega Blastoise with us, and that is the game. Even though with the 30 damage onto the Mega Gengar EX and the Litwick for their knockout, they will get a prize. But we get the last 2 because Chandelure brings down the Mega Blastoise. That is awesome. I love Fainting Spell. Attack the bench, and then let Fainting Spell kind of take care of the active Pokemon because you do have a 50% chance of winning that way. Alright, so we do get a victory. And what do we have here? Alright, let's go ahead and open up some booster packs. We get another tournament ticket. And a coin for a plane. Tiny bit closer. Let's go and hit done here. And what are we up to? 200. So basically a couple more games will get us over to the next prize on the versus rewards. All right, let's head on over to our collection here. We're going to open up 3 booster packs today. All right, let's start off with the Primal Clash. Alrighty. So we get something new here. Nidoran female. Looks like that is it. No rares this time, so let's go ahead and finish that. And let's open up 2 Roaring Skies. Pretty excited for the new set. There are a couple of cards in that, a couple of supporters that I do want to work into this deck. And I believe that does release in about a week and a half. Alright, so nothing new on this end, and we do get a Togekiss, a Hollow Togekiss. Very awesome. We don't have that in our collection yet. Let's open up one more. And what do we get? We get a Switch. Nothing new yet. First rare being an Absol, which well, it looks like it is new, so it might be a reverse hollow. Yep, that's what it looks like. And there we go. It looks like an Articuno. Alright, so let's head on over to the main menu. I do want to thank all of you for tuning in to Let's Play Pokemon TCG Online. Don't forget to head on over to nerdupmedia.com, subscribe by clicking on the top right-hand corner of the screen here, the Reasons I'm Broke logo, and check out our Patreon page. The link is in our description. We are working towards building a better audio, not only for the podcast that we put up every week, but that would also affect one of the goals, the Pokemon TCG Online as well. So anything we upload to YouTube, the unboxings, whether it's the Let's Play or the regular show, we will have improved audio based on the goals. So definitely check that out. Again, that's patreon.com/thereasonsimbroke. Either way, we're just happy that you tuned in, and thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one.